Did Woody Allen urge New Yorkers to disown President Trump? Is the U.S. Center for Disease Control planning to advise Americans to wear masks in everyday life? Did the Democrats in Congress push through a $25 million overall raise for themselves? And will accepting a Facebook friend request from a stranger give hackers access to your computer and online accounts? Stay tuned as we separate fact from fiction and tell you the truth behind fake news. Hit it.
This is the Misinformation Nation podcast. Our mission to untangle the World Wide Web of fibbers, phonies, hoaxers, and humbug. And now, here is your host, John Williams.
Thank you, Eggman. Thank you, my friends. My name is John Williams. I'm a teacher, journalist, author, public speaker, and this is the Misinformation Nation podcast. We will dive into the latest news and information making its way around the world via social media and examine why many of these stories are not only outrageous and frightening, but they're also completely untrue. So, our first story, did Woody Allen urge New Yorkers to disown President Trump? No, not true.
I don't think so.
This is a parody from a website, Daily World Update, stating it is satire for flat earthers, Trumpsters, and Al-Qaeda. The article originated on March 29, 2020. It says this: as America's current crisis churns on, it seems that every cable news and television station has turned to a host of Hollywood celebrities for their opinions and viewpoints. From Bill Gates on CNN to Whoopi Goldberg on The View to even pop music phenom Taylor Swift on the stage at the Grand Ole Opry, calling the president a modern-day outbreak monkey, most have not been kind to our beleaguered leader. And now celebrated writer, director, and New York social activist Woody Allen has joined the fray. In a taped interview with MSNBC's Sandra Batt to be aired this coming Tuesday, the controversial Empire State native remarked that the governor and people should officially and adamantly disown Trump as a son, as he's proved to be nothing but a traitorous and uncaring embarrassment. Allen also made the statement during a half-hour-long liberal hate fist worthy of Chris Rock at a Merle Haggard concert. Users on social media only saw the title, description, and a thumbnail. The post does contain a couple of photos with obviously fake descriptions, including one of Taylor Swift with the caption, "Swift has already begun pretending that she dated Trump in order to write a hit song." Well, it is true Woody Allen is back in the news because he recently penned a controversial memoir. But Allen did not say any of the quotes attributed to him in the satirical story. Among other untruths in the story, Taylor Swift did not call President Trump an outbreak monkey, and MSNBC does not have an anchor named Sandra Batt. NewsGuard, a company that uses trained journalists to rank the reliability of websites, describes dailyworldupdate.us as a news site that publishes false stories and hoaxes that are often mistaken for real news. The site is part of a network run by a hoax perpetrator, Christopher Blair. So, again, we call this one fake. Our second story is the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention planning to advise Americans to wear masks in everyday life. No, not true. The federal agency tells Lead Stories, one of our sources that we depend upon, that no changes to guidance are scheduled or imminent. However, the claim originated in a tweet published by a Dr. Matt McCarthy on March 28, 2020. It states, CDC guidance on masks expected to change in the next 10 days. Americans will be advised to wear masks in everyday life. Current recommendation is for high-risk groups only. Users on social media saw this, McCarthy is an associate professor at Weill Cornell Medicine, a staff position at New York Presbyterian, and the author of a few books, including Superbugs, The Race to Stop an Epidemic. His tweet announcing this supposed forthcoming change gained immediate notice and a lot of social media buzz. The CDC, however, posted a reply saying CDC does not have updated guidance scheduled to come out on this topic. See the current CDC guidance regarding the use of face masks. Well, you can verify these facts yourself. Just go to Centers for Disease Control and Prevention website at cdc.gov. In the meantime, the CDC recommends sticking to the current guidelines about when and where to wear face masks, as they are not scheduled to change and recognize the need to preserve supplies for healthcare workers as much as necessary. Here's our third hoax story. Did the Democrats in Congress try to push through a $25 million overall raise for themselves as part of the $2.2 trillion COVID-19 and economic stimulus package? No, that's also false. Congressional members and leaders of both parties, as well as both chambers, did write that amount into different versions of bills to pay for telecommunications, remote working, policing, and operations during the pandemic, but not for themselves. The claim surfaced in an article published on beingtexan.com on March 25, 2020. Article was titled, "Congress Wants a Raise as Part of Coronavirus Bill." It goes on to read, Nancy Pelosi has added a $25 million raise for Congress in the coronavirus bill. This adds up to $46,728.97 per year for each of the 435 members of the House and the Senate. Non-leadership members of Congress currently earn $172,000. This boondoggle will raise their pay to approximately $218,000, depending on how the raises are appropriated. Sounds crazy, right? Especially during an election year? Oh, this would be tantamount to political suicide. Instead, the $25 million added to the package, again worked on by both parties in the House and Senate, is meant to pay congressional staffers and for other functions deemed vital during this time of national and global crisis that has most Americans working remotely. The story, debunked March 25, 2020 by factcheck.org, completely misrepresents the bill, even though the article by beingtexan.com links to the exact bill. It is misread. According to Roll Call, the bill includes $93 million in cash payments. The funds are included in the nearly $2 trillion package agreed to by Senate leaders and the White House. For the legislative branch portion of the bill, the Senate is slated to get $10 million. $1 million of those funds would be sent to the Sergeant at Arms to cover teleworking costs for committees and offices. The rest is expected to be allocated to covering costs associated with emergency coronavirus-related needs, including the authority to reimburse costs for workers at the Senate Employees Child Care Center. Note that the section on the House payments in the roll call story, it says the House would get $25 million to fund the chamber's remote work and to purchase supplies for employees to make working from home more efficient. Money is also available to pay restaurant workers and vendors for food and service contracts and for employees and costs associated with the House Child Care Center. And finally, will accepting a Facebook friend request from a stranger provide hackers access to your computer and online accounts? Another false story. A long-running hoax warns readers not to allow contact from a particular person or group because dire consequences will result. The basic form of these hoax warnings is typically drawn from the following template. It starts off, do not, and then the hoaxer can put in read, open, respond to, or join. Do not email, text message, friend request, depends on what they want to say. Sent by either a real name, email address, or a screen name. If you do, you, your computer, your Facebook account, everyone on your contact list, and your children will be in danger of falling victim to, and here's the choices, serial killer, computer virus, a hacker, a predator. One recent example reads, be careful, I got a message from you, or it shown on your wall here. Please tell all the contacts in your messenger list not to accept friendship requests from, in this version, Andrea Wilson. She is a hacker and has the system connected to your Facebook account. If one of your contacts accepts it, you will also be hacked. So make sure that all your friends know it. Thanks. Forwarded as received. Hold your finger down on the message. At the bottom in the middle, it will say forward. Hit that, then click on the names of those in your list, and it will send all to them. This is real. Well, the urgency and the claim that this is real adds a bit of realism, maybe, to the post. But usually email, social media warnings, usually not true. So how can you stay alert, protect yourself from fake news and online hoaxes? You can check out the many sources that we use here at the podcast website, misinformationnation.org. You can find our Facebook and Twitter links on the website also. And be sure to check out my latest book, The Truth About Fake News, available on Amazon.com. Well, that's all the time we have for this episode. I hope that you'll join us again. Until next time, I'm John Williams. After that, I could change my name to John Exotic. Stay well, my friends.